Hello, how are you, everyone, everywhere? My name is Lavas Pamire, and today I just want to talk about a topic that is of interest to all those in the diaspora and those aspiring to be in the diaspora. So I'll be making bits and pieces. I don't want to make the conversation too long, one at one go. So I'll be making different parts. So I'll be cutting and cutting. And so make sure that after listening to the first part, also listen to the other parts that will follow. So I was on Radio 54 and I was addressing the issues to do with mortgage versus uh, establishing some properties or investing back home, especially those who are in overseas across the borders of Africa, beyond the borders of Africa. That what is your take when it comes to investment? Do you think it's a good idea to invest in overseas as opposed to investing back in Africa? Or do you think that it is possible to do both, investing or buying properties in overseas, in the diaspora in Europe? That's where probably most of us are. And apart from Europe, others are also in Asia and stuff like that. So, do you think it's a good idea? It's a noble thing to do to invest in properties in the diaspora as opposed to investing back home? So, the background of my discussion is I'm looking on different perspectives. I know we come from different backgrounds back home where we originate from. When I'm talking of Africa, I'm talking of all Africans. I'm from Zimbabwe. So in Zimbabwe, we have people living in the rural areas or staying in the rural areas. And some rural areas, yes, are developed, but others are still remote, are very remote, whereby even the hospitals are very scarcely, or the clinics that will be nearby, you have to travel long distances and miles. The schools that you find, the children, the kids have to walk long distances, 5, 10, 15 kilometers to the nearest school, that's primary, secondary school. So there are few. There's a lot of development that has been going on, of course, in the rural areas, and we appreciate that. But I'm talking about somebody who's coming from that kind of a background, and you never had your parents building or buying properties or houses in towns, in the cities, be it in Bulawayo, Gweru, Chinoi, Kadoma, Harare, Karoi. Your parents might not have seen the importance of investing, or the life itself could not provide an opportunity for them to invest in that form. I mean, to build a house, to buy a house in town. But then that presented a challenge to most of us who are in that kind of a situation whereby you start life from minors. You have to go to work, but for you to go to work, you do not have accommodation that is presented or provided for you by your parents. So you have to rent an apartment or a house, you have to lodge, you have to pay some rentals in order for you to live and to survive in that space. So I just want us to have a conversation around that issue of, you know, having mortgages in the diaspora, and vis-a-vis investing back home in Africa. Now, this is the background I'm just giving you. I understand also there are others who were privileged, that parents had means and were privileged to such an extent that they had houses, so the accommodation was okay. And when they started working, they had also to invest in some properties of their own, or they bought houses, or they built some houses of their own. So that's another scenario or situation. So you happen to be in the diaspora, opportunity came along your way, and you found yourself in the diaspora. You might still be in Africa, and at some point you also want to be in the diaspora. So this topic is still relevant to listen to, and critical and crucial for you to have thoughts around that, because our lives are not going to be permanent here on earth. Uh, God willing, we'll live longer, and still, God willing, we might not live for a long, long time in the face of the earth. But during that space of our lives, during that time we're living in, how do we pen out our lives? How do we plan our lives? How do we navigate this life that we're living in? So I don't want to have long conversations. So in this case, I'm going to come back on part two.